It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey, on 2K Sports. And our coverage tonight will be coming to you from Detroit, where the Pistons will be going up against the Utah Jazz. And for Utah, they're looking to come out strong. Game is a great opportunity to do just that. And guys, last season, we saw the emergence of Gobert and Favors for the Jazz. Both were just phenomenal down the stretch, and Utah really played well after the All-Star break. Can they be the best defensive big man tandem in the league, Jet?
I'll tell you, this is like deja vu. It feels like I've been saying this all day, but this combination of size and length is hard to score against. I mean, they're a difficult team.
We've got the Utah Jazz facing Detroit. Welcome to the NBA for this Friday afternoon broadcast. I'm Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony and Doris Burke reporting from the sidelines. So Detroit will get the first possession. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. So on the floor for Utah, Favors and Gobert, the shot-blocking duo inside. Shelvin Mack is out there with Hood, and it's Hayward in at the three slot.
You know, Utah might not have finished 500 on the season, but they did finish 500 against the Eastern Conference. Went 15-15 last season.
Utah's on defense, and stolen by Hood. And now Utah, fast break, and that one's good by Favors.
And they are on the board first.
Trying to set the tone here early. I like that.
Outside Jackson. Drummond a screen. Jackson drives in. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
And guys, Reggie Jackson was at the end of a yo-yo last season. He starts at Oklahoma for an injured Westbrook. Westbrook comes back, sends Jackson to the bench. Then Oklahoma sends Jackson to Detroit, where he fills in for another injured starter in Brandon Jennings for the rest of the year.
And that one falls for Jackson. Now getting back to Jackson, he showed several times last season that he has that starter ability. The Thunder knew they wouldn't have the money to re-sign him, Clark, in free agency, so they traded him to avoid losing him for nothing.
Yeah, and that's a good move. And with the Pistons, Jackson finished the season strong, while the Thunder, without Jackson or Durant's contributions, missed the playoffs for the first time in years. He has such terrific form and consistency on his free throws. Beautiful to watch.
Hayward against Harris. Out left to the wing. Here's Mack. The rebound by Caldwell Pope. Now the Pistons with it. Here's Harris. Power down with both hands.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Here's the screen. Here's Mack. Back to Gobert. Hangs in the air. And it's sent back by Drummond.
That's another miss. Already they've missed 3 out of 4 to start. Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for good offense, but that was just a terrible reaction from the defense.
Now here's Hayward, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
Did not need 2 hands for that slam.
You know, he can save the other hand for the next time.
One will do just fine.
Yeah, but just to switch it up a little bit.
Caldwell Pope, and it's off from three-point range. Jazz have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. And Hayward gets it to go.
And it looks like he might just be on his A game today, Clark.
On defense, Utah. If you're just tuning in, we've played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. That shot by Caldwell Pope, no good. The Jazz have gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. Got a piece of it. It's stolen by Morris. Pass to Caldwell Pope. Gobert with the block. And so the ball out of bounds. Gobert touched it last. And so it's Detroit with the ball. And Harris wide open. He shoots. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Harris has got 7.
Not too much respect shown to him by the defenders.
And Mack kicks to Gobert. Hood dishes to Hayward. Here's Favors. The basket good off the assist from Hayward.
And I tell you what, anytime you get those easy ones, that basket starts to get bigger.
Detroit's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Jackson kicks to Drummond. From 6 feet, pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. Drummond's got his first basket. Jazz trail by 3. And Matt kicks to Favors. There's the pick. Favors with the screen. Favors with the screen on Jackson. Here's Mack. Shot is off. The Pistons go the other way with it. Here's Caldwell Pope. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. No luck.
And he just hasn't been able to make anything this quarter.
Here's Mack, guarded by Jackson. Inside. And Gobert kicks to Favors. Kept alive. Nice shot by Gobert.
Really nice job to convert the putback opportunity there. I mean, he stayed with that play from start to finish. That's something we say about him a lot.
A 3-ball. Drummond passes to Morris. This one for 3. Harris misses.
All the time in the world to get that one off.
Hayward goes in. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket. The Pistons lead it. Pushing it up. Here's Caldwell Pope, and he misses the fast break layup.
Boy, I tell you, I thought the Jazz had a big year last season. Looked much tougher than before. A big part of that is how Coach Quinn Snyder helped the team grow. I mean, he looked like a perfect fit in his first year with the franchise.
The Pistons shooting 33% here in the first quarter. Outside Jackson. Kicks it to Caldwell Pope. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. You were mentioning the Jazz, and they grew last year under Coach Quinn Snyder in his first year. You know, Greg, he did the same thing with teams when he was a coach in the D-League.
That's a great point, Kevin. And beyond the growth that the Jazz showed, I think everyone in Utah was pleased with the style of play. I mean, Coach Snyder's got the team back to playing hard defense and really grinding out wins.
Another bucket in the paint? That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
Yeah, the defense is all about disrupting timing and spacing, and what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
Here's Mack, defended by Drummond. Favors dishes to Hood, and Gobert kicks to Mack. And Favors gets it to go in on the assist from Shelvin Mack. Mack's got his 4th assist in this one.
Detroit calls timeout.
And guys, Shelvin Mack, strong, good jump shot. More importantly, knows his role. Hasn't started that many.
They can't guard us on the perimeter. Spread the floor and isolate up top.
When he's on the floor.
The Pistons making a change here. Tolliver's checked in. Dante Exum is checked in for Utah. Pistons trail by 3. Outside Jackson. But they'll get another chance. Pistons keep it alive. Shot clock at 6. Gobert with the block. Great offensive performance they're putting on.
You see the benefit of knocking down baskets consecutively because it leads to the confidence growing and growing.
And guys, we call that the zone because that's where they are right now. They are in a zone, and I'm sure they feel unstoppable.
And Hayward gets it to go.
3 consecutive baskets have come right at the rim. The defense had better start buckling down and tightening up.
Guys, they are getting exposed in terms of their low post defense.
Getting back to Shelvin Mack, he plays smart, values the basketball. Clark doesn't have tremendous vision, but stays composed and makes the solid play.
Yeah, very reliable rotational player for you as a combo guard. Bulls his way around the court. He can knock opponents off balance with that size, and he's a good shot maker, too.
Second shot opportunity, and that one's good by Favors. Now it's a 7-point Jazz lead. They need to stop this run.
You know what, Kev? I think it's time to switch some things up, either by going to your bench or with a different look defensively to disrupt their rhythm. Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Exum passes to Gobert. A shot by Hayward, wide open, and he can't extend the lead to double digits. And for the Pistons, they're shooting only 28% here in the first. A shoddy game offensively for them so far. Feeds to Jackson. Fires from deep. Again, the miss by Jackson.
And he's clearly just disappeared here this quarter, not making any contributions here with his offense.
And, Greg, it's been hard to watch. I mean, you can see his frustration. He's actually looking forward to the end of this period so he can have a fresh start for the next one.
Here's Jackson after Gordon Hayward's bucket. Jackson.
The defense needs to play tight on him, and that's exactly what they did to force that miss. Well done.
Harris against Hayward. Right side favors from 13. Can't get it to go. And it's Detroit the other way.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Pretty clear. They're dominating that area. They've come out with a lot more energy and effort so far.
A ragged start for him offensively, but he'll take it. That brings him to 1 of 8 from the field.
The feed to Hood. Launches it. It's hauled in by Tolliver.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted, and really, I like the movement and communication there. He's given them little to nothing at the offensive end. I can't put it any other way.
As hot as he's been this quarter, the game plan is simple, folks. Get him the ball and get out of the way.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. Fans had a hard time finding their way to the stadium last season for the Pistons at the bottom in several home attendance categories last year.
Yeah, that's right in Auburn Hills.
I know.
I mean, they used to go a lot when they were winning championships. But to be fair to those fans, it was hard at times to watch the Pistons play. I mean, they could get cold and really struggle on their home floor.
Jazz leading by 8. Pass to Exum. Pass to Booker. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Utah Jazz saw one of the biggest year-to-year improvements in the league last season. The big part of that, of course, was their play on the road.
And, you know, Kevin, they nearly doubled their road wins from last season by getting 17 away from home. And I thought they progressively got better as the season wore on.
First one falls for him.
And for the Jazz on the road, they look to be a team built around defense now moving forward. That should bode well for their prospects as a tough matchup as a visitor.
So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe.
As you said with the Jazz, I mean, defense travels very well in the NBA. Teams that find ways to grind out road wins do it with really solid defense. Jazz fans have a lot to look forward to with this group.
Reggie Jackson had made some noise about wanting a big contract to be moved last year. Ultimately, he was traded to Detroit.
Yep, Kevin, traded from the Thunder to the Pistons, and it actually happened on deadline day.
And if you go back, remember Jackson struggled with the Pistons last year as well. So the team went on a losing streak as soon as he got there. And Jackson will look for a fresh start this season. I mean, hard to play with all the drama and questions going in your head about pending free agency.
Well, last season, the Pistons season, they're making progress, but as we can all see, still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, you know, they were spoiled for a while there. How about going to the playoffs for 1996 to 2009? So it's been a rough stretch here of late, but you get the feeling that the building blocks are in place for another push.
And I bet most people forget that the Pistons did make the playoffs for 8 straight years before this current drought. It's been a long rebuild process for them recently, but I think they're making progress and moving in the right direction.
And for the Pistons, they seem to have a direction and plan now that just wasn't the case before. It won't be easy to get back into the postseason, but I really feel like they are on the right path.
A lot of NBA teams have been outright buying developmental league teams. I mean, the Jazz did that last season. They purchased the Idaho Stampede last March, and we see more and more of that happening, one-on-one affiliations between D-League teams and NBA teams.
Now, here's Exum. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. There's the dish to Ingles. Here's Lyles. Rebound, Detroit. Last year, the Jazz acquired the Stampede from the D-League. It makes sense. They'll have a designated place now to develop, Greg, all their young talent.
And Kevin, it's really a key for the Jazz to have those extra minutes available for all those young talents to get an opportunity to get confidence, but also to learn your system. I think more and more NBA teams will follow this route of buying D-League teams. It couldn't have dreamed of a much better start here than they've had today.
I think the offensive game plan they came in with was right on point. It's worked perfectly, and the lead they already have is proof in the pudding.
Meeks. Ingles with the rebound.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard.
And the trend they'd love to continue right through the next 3 quarters as well, Greg.
Pistons trail by 11. Meeks outside. Now in the scoring column with that deuce. 1 for 2 this game.
Guys, you will not see too many of those kind of threes in transition.
They set the screen. Exum kicks to Booker. That's tipped. Walks it again, and they're able to recover. And it's Exum in the corner. Drills it from outside. And the Jazz lead by 11.
And loving the hustle here early. I mean, they struck first on the offensive glass.
And those putback baskets contributing to their lead, Greg.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. And Baines kicks to Meeks. Off the mark with the outside fadeaway.
And the fadeaway was the only option he had on that one. Defender there all over.
Dishes to Ingles. The high post shot. No good.
Well, I tell you what, that's too good a look to pass up there. Even though it didn't go, that's one.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Detroit Pistons dancers.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for the Jazz.
They've been making some really nice passes out there. Excellent passing. That could set the tone for the rest of the game.
And another thing they've done right from the start is converting. A lot of those second chance opportunities, those can be hard to come by sometimes.
On the floor for Utah, getting going here in the second quarter. And Hayward gets it to go.
And the interior D is really starting to be exposed here. How many layups have they gotten today?
Here's Meeks. Here's Baines. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in.
Uh-oh, a little showboating at the end of that one.
Jazz leading by 11. Nato, he's guarded by Meeks. Good.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Yeah, and they're really getting pummeled on points in the paint here.
He feeds it to Johnson. And the pass to Morris. Here's Caldwell Pope, and Detroit again with the bucket. And so it's Utah here with the ball. Nato, he's guarded by Meeks. Favors with the screen. Pass to Lyles. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Lyles got the lead up to 13 now for the Jazz. And it's Detroit's ball. And here's Meeks. And they call over the back here. Too much contact.
You know, right call. Gave the officials no choice there. I mean, they've got to make that call over the back.
Yeah, I mean, he went chest first into the man in front of him. My goodness. I'm not an official, and I could have gotten that one right.
Drummond's checked in for Detroit. Tobias Harris comes in for Johnson. And Utah also making a switch. Gobert's checked in. And Favors kicks to Burks. Nato, well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. And the Jazz lead by 15. Pistons have gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. Meeks inside the three-point line. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Detroit with the ball, following the bucket by the Jazz. Here's Caldwell Pope, 5 points in the game. Morris dishes to Harris. To the middle, 6 on the shot clock. Rebound, Gordon Hayward.
Well, we know prior to last season, the Pistons handed the car keys over to Stan Van Gundy. He had some early hiccups, but overall, I think they're headed in the right direction. He's a proven winning coach in the NBA.
And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way. Hard to the bucket, and don't let them set up the defense.
And the Jazz making a change here. Hood's checked in. Pistons trailed. Got 5 points in the quarter.
I'm not sure that was the play they had set up, but it was too good a look to pass up.
Outside Favors. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
Textbook. Nice pass. Great catch. Even better finish.
Detroit's gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Kicks it to Caldwell Pope. And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. Drummond passes to Caldwell Pope. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.
And now he's taken a solid opening in the quarter and built on it here in the second.
First personal foul, teams first.
And guys, you know, Kentavious Caldwell Pope, this guy screams potential at you. I mean, perfect size and length and speed for a 2-guard. He plays both ends. Right now, it's all about consistency for him.
Nato. Here's Hood, rejected by Harris. They get it back. Hayward can't hit.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look. Almost no chance of that shot going in.
Yeah, there were a lot of other places he could have gone with the basketball instead of forcing that shot up.
To the paint, here's Favors. And he gets it to go. Favors has got 4 points in the quarter. On the topic of Caldwell Pope, he's the kind of guy who needs a year to feel his way around. In college, Greg, you may recall he showed dramatic improvement between years 1 and 2. The same thing has been true in the pros.
Yeah, and he has everything going for him. I mean, excellent outside shot, tremendous defensive tools. He just needs to add some strength and stay in attack mode to reach the next level in his development.
That's good. Meek's got 7 points.
You know, that's been a big part of their offense in the early stages. I mean, their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range right at the rim.
And Clark, they might as well keep doing it. I mean, attack the basket until the defense makes an adjustment.
Just a bit of an up and down year for the Pistons last season. Had some long winning streaks and some long losing streaks for first-year head coach Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah, Kevin, some would say it was addition by subtraction because they really went on that big run after they released Josh Smith. 7 straight wins for them at one point, and they also did have some giant lows.
It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's costly.
Utah leading by 16. Outside Favors. Hood gets the bucket. Hood's got his second bucket.
I love the killer instinct he shows right there, exploding to the rim to add to the lead.
And, you know, those giant lulls were a big part of the Pistons' season. I mean, their biggest losing streak was 13 straight losses, and a lot of that you attribute to their defense.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
And Jody Meeks gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Jackson, he's checked in for the Pistons. Max checked in for Utah. Hood gets the bucket. Hood's got 6 points.
And the Pistons also went into a slump after they traded for Reggie Jackson. 1-9 after the trade deadline. They would end the season on a better note, but truly they were streaky last season. And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
Three-pointer, Hayward, and again it's the Jazz from deep.
You know, it's really hard not to notice the difference in the passing of these two teams today.
It's a stark discrepancy when you look at the assist columns and you see that difference as far as the fluidity in their respective offenses.
Jackson misses. Jazz leading by 21. The drive by Gobert. He dents the rim with a two-handed slam. Wow.
Clearly, they've been the hotter team here in the first half.
Well, they've been grit and grind, working for those high percentage shots, and quite honestly, it's paid off for them.
And stolen by Hood. Here's Mack. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. And Hayward gets it to go on the assist from Shelvin Mack.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
It's all about imposing your will offensively, getting exactly the kind of looks their coach drew up.
So it's Utah now after the miss from Reggie Jackson. And Favors kicks to Gobert. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
Oh, the big man rocking the rim. Good aggressive finish right there.
And usually he leaves those to his teammates.
And you know, guys, with his length, I think he needs to attack the basket much more. Those dunks should be routine for him.
But they recover it. Drummond. Hayward against Jackson. Here's Mack. And Morris comes over to help. Here's Gobert. Lays it up and banks it in. Gobert's got 10 points now just in this quarter.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Yeah, high percentage shots are what they are getting in terms of the attempts, and that's just not going to get it done. They've got to figure it out.
Detroit, no good that time either.
He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
And I say, hey, if it keeps working, go to it. Stay with it. I mean, until the defense responds and provides more resistance, keep making them pay.
And he's really shot the ball well, but it hasn't been contagious.
And there's the call on Tobias Harris. That is his first foul of the game. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Marcus Morris. Then for the Jazz, Booker, he's checked in for Favors. And it's Joe Ingles in for Gordon Hayward. Hood gets the bucket. Hood's got 8 points.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
Just his first attempt. Offensive rebound. Utah's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. And Gobert kicks to Ingles. Nice ball movement by Utah. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. Utah was so tough near the end of last season, Greg. They weren't going to make the playoffs, but they did give other teams some trouble.
That's a great point. And how about going 19-10 after the All-Star break? Another team that would have been in the playoffs
right
if they were in the East.
And, you know, for the Jazz, you mentioned their post-All-Star break surge. I mean, that 19-10 record they had after the break was good enough for 6th best in the league.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Drummond. And it's Johnson in for Tobias Harris. Ingles dishes to Mack. Exum with a wide open look. No good. And it's Detroit the other way.
And really, the Jazz were a team nobody wanted to play after the break. They were over 500 against the rest of the West and had some big wins over playoff teams in the process.
There's the pick. Mack the pass to Exum. Five on the clock. He kicks it to Mack. Pulls up on the elbow. It's hauled in by Tolliver. Tolliver's got 3 rebounds now in this one. 1:58 left to play in the first half. Can't nail the jumper. Tolliver's gone 1 of 3 from the field here. To the wing on the left. Mack, no luck. The Pistons shooting 41% from the field here in the second. Jackson misses.
I think he's got to regroup and get himself together here. I mean, something's gone wrong with him this quarter. He's really fallen off.
Here's Mack. He's guarded by Johnson. Exum kicks to Booker. And that comes off the assist by Exum.
That mid-range jumper is just another one of his weapons.
The Pistons shooting 34% from the field. That's not going to get it done. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will take it.
We've seen a lot of silly plays like that out of them today. Just way too many.
Alec Burks checked in for Shelvin Mack. Burks dishes to Exum. Stolen by Jackson. Here's Caldwell Pope. Rebound, Utah. There's a minute left in the first half of basketball. Exum passes to Booker. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
And, you know, it doesn't matter how good your defense is on the perimeter if you're going to allow easy ones inside like that.
Here is Tolliver. Jackson buries the long-range jumper. Jackson's got 5 points now this quarter.
They just continue to splash home those threes. Eliminating the deep shot has to become priority number 1 for this defense.
Absolutely. You cannot allow a team to have that kind of a rhythm from beyond. Nicely done. They continue to attack inside, and that's 10 points in a row in the paint.
If you can't stop it, here it comes. I'm right at you.
Now here's Jackson. He's got 11. Burks with it. Now Exum. And that's a foul. It's called on Reggie Jackson. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2. The Jazz have shot 67% from the line, going 6 of 9.
And 74% has been the mark for them on the season thus far.
You know, they've really put themselves behind the 8 ball in so many of their games because they just have not been able to knock down those foul shots.
And the first one drops. And so he hits both. 8 seconds left in the second quarter. That will count. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. And through the first half, a pretty lopsided affair. Utah out in front, just dominating this one. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from the Palace of Auburn Hills.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal. Gordon Hayward has been all over the floor tonight. He ended up with 22 points, 3 rebounds. And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is...
Ladies and gentlemen,
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. Really an incredible game from Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, he's played just a smart game overall offensively, looking for and finding the gaps in the defense, and also terrific shot selection.
Greg, that's exactly what we're talking about when we talk about being efficient as an offensive player. Fully on display there with him.
Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. Andre Drummond is out there with Marcus Morris. And it's Harris in at the 3. That's the group starting the second half for Stan Van Gundy. And, guys, Andre Drummond has made quite an impression in the early stages of his career. Clark, you were just talking about that. Greg, I don't think anyone felt he would have such an impact this fast.
Yeah, I mean, he's already a mountain of a man among boys. I mean, it's hard to believe when you look at this guy out there. He's only 22 years old.
Utah's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. And Mack kicks to Hood. Morris with the block. And here is Drummond. Looking for Harris. He gets it there. But they'll get another chance. The three-pointer, no good. The Jazz shooting a smooth 58% from the field. Everything going according to plan for them on that end. And stolen by Drummond. Now Detroit moving it up. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
That's his first personal foul.
Detroit shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
Yeah, it's been a very frustrating season for them in that regard, guys.
That free throw good from Caldwell Pope. Here's Mack. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Hayward goes in. Slammed home, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. Andre Drummond picks one up.
And haven't we seen that a few times today, guys? I mean, their defense has got to have a little bit more toughness about it. You know, there are those who wonder if Gordon Hayward can lead a team to the promised land. However, as just a sophomore, he led a non-powerhouse college to a championship game. So, in fact, they were just one basket away from winning it all.
Now here's Drummond. And here's the fast break. And again, it's Gordon Hayward. Hayward's got 27 points.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the lead.
Going back to Hayward, he took that buzzer-beating half-court shot, Clark, that would have won his school the championship. You actually called that game, and it did hit the backboard and rim, but unfortunately did not go in.
Well, Hayward's the kind of guy who's willing to put his team on his back and try to carry him. He's willing to take that responsibility on. Whether he can deliver at the highest level, time will tell.
Here's Mack, following the score by Reggie Jackson. And Mack kicks to Hayward. Up off the screen. An easy layup after coming off the pick. He's got 29 points.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Now here's Jackson. 13 points in the game.
And just because you can make it from outside doesn't mean you need to live there.
Not that far out anyway, Greg. I mean, he can work for a better shot than that.
Drummond, a bit of a disappointing season last year. Not so much in play, but people wanted to see a bigger leap from him. Now, his numbers are still pretty jaw-dropping, but I think he's got so much there to give.
He has a lot of potential, Kevin. And listen, I don't think his play was bad. He just had such huge expectations to live up to. I mean, player development is not a straight line, and it would have been very hard to have him take another huge leap forward. Sometimes you have that sophomore jinx, but I'm expecting a big year from him this season.
Now here's Jackson. Morris outside. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. Morris has got himself going there, his first points of the game on the deep ball. And Mack kicks to Favors. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter.
You know, for Drummond last season, his numbers were relatively the same. The expectations placed on him were so hard for him to live up to. Maybe now those will be tempered a bit and he'll play better.
Here's Jackson. Off target from outside. The Jazz have gone 4 of 6 from the field since the start of the third. Over to the left wing. Here's Hood. And Utah again with the bucket.
And another thought on Drummond, a lot more was expected of him last year, and he saw more attention. Even though his numbers were close to the same, I really felt his impact on the floor was not.
And Jackson gets it to go.
You know, the defense was lax right there, and he's able to make them pay.
We've gone about 3.5 minutes into the third now. To the inside, Favors. Count that as his 7th field goal in 10 tries. He's shooting a very good 70%.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And, Greg, you know nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court. That's a nice job of getting the ball in the paint and burying the shot. That's exactly how it's done.
Mag dishes to Gobert. Hayward goes in. That is good. Hayward's got 9 points in the quarter.
I tell you what, fellas, we're seeing some really good ball movement out there.
Definitely. 10 of their last 12 points have come off assists.
That one goes. Count. And that's 19 points for Reggie Jackson.
That's far too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
3 of their last 5 makes come from beyond the arc. The defense has to react quicker.
Now here's Hayward. He has 31, and that one's good.
And how about that? Responding to the three-pointer against them with a quick one of their own.
Terrific little tay-to-tay going on right now. Back and forth. Here we go.
Jazz have gone 8 of 10 shooting here in the second half. Very strong. Hood gets the bucket.
That one was solid. There's a big difference in the field goal percentages between these two teams here in the second half.
And, Greg, that difference has come about because we've got one team moving crisply, getting good shots, and the other is just kind of stagnant.
And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Jazz.
Anytime you get as many points in the paint as they have, you know you've got a good thing going, and you just want to keep it going.
Yeah, and something else they've done all through this one is knock down the mid-range jump shot whenever they've had the chance.
Second free throw, no good. And plenty of contact on the shot, so 2 free throws coming up.
You look at what Harris has done so far. He has 11 points, and he was able to come up with 1 steal, too.
You know what? He's been a difference maker defensively today, Clark. He's disrupted more plays than the stat sheet will show.
So he comes up empty, missing both.
And guys, when you go to look for holes in the game of Tobias Harris, there really aren't any. One of the hardest workers in our league. If he has any weakness at all, it's his average size speed combo, which most likely will keep him from becoming the perennial all-star type.
Utah's gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. Shots good. 16 points for Derek Favors.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
On the topic of Tobias Harris, you love that he can contribute in every category of play. He's a solid face-up shooter. Clark, he's getting better with his back to the basket. You can see movement forward all the time.
I love what this young man has shown thus far. You mentioned those things he does. He'll also rebound for you, get loose balls. He does the little things, understands what it takes to win, the consummate pro and team player.
Rebound, Detroit. Caldwell Pope's got his 4th rebound in this one. And stolen by Hood. To the right side. Basket number 8 for him on 13 tries. That's 62% so far.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but also the body movement off the ball that's created a lot of those opportunities. It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down, try to get some easy ones.
Favors with the screen. Inside. A great 1-2 punch. Beautiful pass and nasty jam.
Beautiful feed off the bounce to his teammate there. Nicely done.
Feeds to Harris. Shot to end this cold run. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Jackson's got 3 assists in the game. It's been all Jazz. Nato, guarded by Jackson. Here's Favors, and that one's in. He's only missed 3 of 13.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
Not a lot you can do as a defense when they keep getting the ball in the paint like this. And he's clearly led the way offensively. The question is, can they ride him and get back into it?
Favors with the screen. Inside. And it's sent back by Morris. The feed to Caldwell Pope. Kept alive. Drummond passes to Morris. There's the 3. Harris missing again.
He's not exactly striping them from deep. He had 1 3-ball in the first half, still bagels in the second.
And a different look here for the Pistons. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Andre Drummond. Tolliver comes in for Marcus Morris. Johnson, he's checked in for Tobias Harris. And it's Jody Meeks in for Caldwell Pope. Now, here's Exum. He's got 5. Shot clock at 6. Burks. And Baines pulls it down. Baines has got his 3rd rebound tonight. Intercepted. Now, here's Exum. Booker with it. And it's Johnson picking him up. Here's Exum. No good on the triple.
Boy, they're fortunate. The defense was taking a big chance leaving him that wide open behind the arc.
The 3 from Johnson. Burks pulls it in. And here's Utah. They're on a 13-5 run here. There's a good screen. The 3. The shot no good. And Detroit the other way now. Meeks outside, and he gets it to go. Meeks got 10 points.
Add another triple to their second half total.
They came out of the break just dropping bombs and just they're not letting up at all.
Now here's Exum. Pass to Ingles, shoots the 3, and that comes off the assist by Exum. He's got 6.
Only took them a few seconds to answer the 3 ball with one of their own.
Greg, we've got a 3-point battle taking shape here.
Here's Jackson. 22 points for him. And it's Baines missing.
And honestly, not real happy with the shot selection on that one.
Yeah, clearly a brain fade there. He's got to be a little smarter in his choice making.
Exum's shot is off. The Pistons shooting about 35% from the floor. Not much falling for them. Shots good by Baines.
That's really told the story today, guys. I mean, throughout this game, they've been able to get the ball in tight and then finish.
More active and more physical down low. That's what's really been the difference thus far.
From deep, Jackson misses. Detroit had a hard time making shots consistently last season. Clark, not a good shooting team from the floor. And, of course, that's in this league, it's going to kill you.
Yeah, it really will. I mean, at one point last year, Kevin, 3 of their 5 starters were in the bottom 10 in terms of players' field goal percentage. I mean, hard to win any game that way.
Johnson can't get it to go.
Physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. That +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, not to mention what it says on the scoreboard. They're really pushing them around. Straight bully ball. And the Pistons would finish in the bottom 3 in terms of team shooting last year. But for the most part, their shooting did improve over the course of the season.
No good on the free throw.
And, you know, for the Pistons, they really had nowhere to go but up. I mean, shooting under 43% as a team is more than worrisome. I mean, it's something they'll have to drastically improve going forward.
And the Pistons making a change here. Blake's checked in. Here's Blake to the left side wing. 59 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Meeks can't hit. Utah's gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight, 5 of 12. Burks kicks to Exum. Ingles dishes to Exum. Pass to Lyles. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A 3-point play chance here.
That's his first personal foul.
Clark Lyles, one of the many great players to come out of Kentucky and be eligible for this draft. He didn't wow as much as his teammates. I'm telling you what, he can play.
He's got a lot of game. He's actually one of my sleepers, Kevin, because he can do everything well. He can handle it. He goes both ways. He can shoot it. He defends. Really good IQ. I like this guy as being a surprise producer as an NBA player.
Now, here's Exum. 6 points for him. Burks with it. An easy layup after coming off the pick.
Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
24 seconds left in the 3rd quarter of the game. Now Blake. Johnson from outside. Yes, and it's Blake picking up the assist. Johnson's got 5 now.
Boy, Blake is so good at finding open teammates.
Exum passes to Lyles. From 10 feet out, the shot will not go.
That's an unusual, surprising miss for him. Typically, he's good on those inside.
And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. Utah out in front, running away with it. And do not go away, as we'll be back in just a few moments with the start of our fourth quarter coming up next. And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. The Pistons shooting poorly, just 35% so far. And Utah looking at who they've got to start the fourth quarter. Jackson misses. The Jazz shooting the ball really well in this game, 58%. Now the dish to Ingles. Here's Booker. Drops in the layup for 2. Booker's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Jazz.
That was just a perfect possession, getting it in tight for the high percentage shot.
Jackson kicks to Morris. Fades away. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him.
Great shot. Had to fade back, but he still managed to drain it.
Utah has gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight, 5 of 12. Lyles passes to Ingles. Down low. No good from Booker.
You know what? His finishing ability, not really at the level that you would expect from a pro, but he's going to have to start playing with more force.
Max checked in for Utah. Fourth quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it. Harris outside. Back to Drummond. Rebounded by the Jazz. Dishes it to Booker. Ingles passes to Lyles. Soft touch off the glass.
Bad time for these defenders to be standing around watching. Not while the ball's in his hands.
Outside Jackson. There's the 3. Booker pulls it in. Booker's got 5 rebounds tonight. And that's a foul. It's called on Reggie Jackson. That will be foul number 5 on him.